Rex Tillerson was sworn in as Secretary of State in February 2017 by Vice President Mike Pence as his wife and President Trump watched. On Tuesday, Mr. Trump fired him via Twitter. Al Drago, The New York Times. Since the beginning of this nightmare administration, we've been assured, via well-placed anonymous sources, that a few sober, trustworthy people in the White House were checking Donald Trump's worst instincts and most erratic whims. A collection of generals, New York finance types and institution-minded Republicans were said to be nobly sacrificing their reputations and serving a disgraceful president for the good of the country. Through strategic leaks, they presented themselves as guardians of American democracy rather than collaborators in its undoing. The success of this informal alliance is hard to gauge. Last August, after the president said there were very fine people among the white supremacist marchers in Charlottesville, VA, senior officials rationalized their continued role in the administration to Mike Allen of Axios. If they weren't there, they say, we would have a trade war with China, massive deportations, and a government shutdown to force construction of a southern wall. Allen wrote, since then, we've had a government shutdown over immigration, albeit a brief one. A trade war appears imminent. Arrests of undocumented immigrants, particularly those without criminal records, have continued to surge. Over the past 14 months we've also seen monstrous levels of corruption and chaos, a plummeting of America's standing in the world and the obliteration of a host of democratic norms. Yet things could always be worse. The economy is doing well and Trump has not yet started any real wars. Increasingly, however, the people who were supposed to be the adults in the room aren't in the room anymore. The former Deputy National Security Advisor Dina Powell left in January. Gary Cohn, head of the National Economic Council, announced his resignation on March 6. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson was terminated by tweet on Tuesday. National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster will reportedly be among the next to go, and Trump may soon fire Attorney General Jeff Sessions, possibly as a prelude to shutting down the special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation. Adding to the tumult, a parade of lesser officials have either quit or been fired, including the White House Communications Director Hope Hicks, Staff Secretary Rob Porter and Trump's personal aide John McEntee. The self-styled grown-ups are, for the most part, being replaced by lackeys and ideologues. Larry Kudlow, the CNBC pundit Trump has appointed to succeed Cohn, is known for the consistent wrongness of his predictions. Tillerson was a terrible Secretary of State, but unlike his chosen successor, the director of the CIA, Mike Pompeo, he never trafficked in nutjob Benghazi conspiracy theories or anti-Muslim invective. John Roberts of Fox News reported that McMaster could be replaced by Uber hawk John Bolton, who last month wrote a Wall Street Journal op-ed titled, The Legal Case for Striking North Korea First. Bolton has described proposed talks between Trump and Kim Jong-un of North Korea as an opportunity to deliver a harsh ultimatum. This new stage of unbound Trumpism might make the administration's first year look stable in comparison. That would partly vindicate the adults' claims that things would be even messier without them. But it would also mean that by protecting the country from the consequences of an unhinged president, they helped Trump consolidate his power while he learned how to transcend restraints. Whatever their accomplishments, if from their privileged perches these people saw the president as a dangerous fool in need of babysitting, it's now time for some of them to say so publicly. This month, John Lovett, a former speechwriter for Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, published a scathing open letter to Powell, the former security advisor. During her time in the administration, he wrote, she assured appalled onlookers that the adults were playing a stabilizing role. You reached out to tell those of us on the outside you were saving us from a lot. You don't understand, friends of yours conveyed to all of us, how bad it is. Lovett wrote that he was skeptical of this argument but unable to dismiss it. The real test, he thought, would come when she and Cohn and others like them were no longer in the White House. If you couldn't speak out because you had to stay, when you left, you had to speak out. Of course, unlike Omarosa Manigat Newman, who confessed horror at her former boss's presidency on Celebrity Big Brother, they haven't. Their defenders among anti-Trump Republicans say it's because some of them still have a role to play in